You hear the phrase education for all a lot, right? But what does it actually take to make it a reality? I mean, not just a slogan, but a real policy that works on the ground. Well, today, we're going to take a look at Kokand, a city with a fascinating, hands-on approach to making sure every single child has a seat in the classroom, no matter their needs. So before we go any further, let's just lock in on this key idea, inclusive education. This is a huge shift in thinking. It's about moving away from separating students based on their needs. Instead, it creates one single environment where kids with special educational needs are learning right alongside their peers. It's all about integration, not isolation. And honestly, it's the engine driving this whole story in Kokand.
All right, so where is this ambitious idea actually being put to the test? Our story takes us right to the city of Kokand. And here, inclusion isn't just some buzzword they're throwing around, it's a policy they are building from the ground up, one school at a time.
And we can zoom in even closer than that, right here. State General School number 15. This is the epicenter, the proving ground, where the whole theory of inclusive education is meeting the day-to-day reality of the classroom. So how exactly do you transform a traditional school into an inclusive one? It's about so much more than just opening a door and saying, "Come on in." Inside school number 15, we can actually see the complex machinery they're building, all the different support systems that are absolutely essential for this to even have a chance of working. And this is the part I find brilliant. They understood it's not just one thing. Look at these 3 pillars they're building on. It's not just about the physical stuff, the material and technical resources. It's also about the pedagogical support, which means training teachers and adapting how they teach. And, maybe most importantly, it's about the psychological conditions, creating an atmosphere where every single student feels like they belong. It's this complete, holistic approach that gives the whole initiative a real shot at success. And why are they building all of this? Why go to all this trouble? Well, it's for one simple, incredibly powerful reason: to ensure the successful development of every single student. Each one of those pillars we just talked about, the tools, the training, the environment, they all point directly toward this one unified goal. Nothing is being left to chance. But this brings up a huge question. I mean, noble goals and great plans are one thing, but how do you make sure they actually work when the rubber meets the road? How do you stop a promising project like this from just fizzling out? Well, in Kokand, the answer came from the very top. The city's mayor, Maruf Usmanov, didn't just delegate this. He got personally involved. And that sends a powerful message, right? It says that inclusive education isn't just another item on a checklist. It's a core priority for the city's leadership. And let's be clear, this was not just a photo op. This was a real 3-step assessment. First, he was in the classrooms, directly observing. Second, he sat down with the school's management for a deep dive into their teaching support system. And third, and this is the crucial part, he focused on identifying problems. The goal wasn't just to see what was going right, but to actively hunt for what wasn't working. But a review is only as good as the action it leads to. So after they identified the challenges, what happened next? The assessment immediately pivoted to instruction, laying out a crystal clear path forward. And this was the result: a clear, direct order. Provide the classes with the necessary equipment and supplies. This wasn't a suggestion, it wasn't a let's form a committee, it was a command to turn the findings of that review into actual, tangible resources for the students and teachers on the front lines. So when you map it all out, the path becomes so clear. It starts with an ambitious goal. Then you do the foundational work, building the program's core. That's followed by a critical review to find the gaps, and it all leads to decisive action, getting the resources in place to make the project thrive. It's a perfect path from idea to implementation. At the end of the day, this is the story of just one school in one city. But its real power is as a blueprint, isn't it? It's a test case for a more inclusive future. And it leaves us with a really important question. If one school can be transformed this deliberately, what could that mean for an entire city's education system? Or maybe even a country's?